Hello, everybody. I hope I don't have issues with this live, and I got a drape set up over my phone too because it's hot. I love it. I mean, not a lot of folks are loving the heat wave, but if you're up north in Canada, boy, this is beautiful, beautiful summer weather, and I'm not complaining. But what happened today here? What's out by the National Observer is shocking for me. I call it shocking revelation that the National Observer, an article written by Randy Boswell, and I did a live with them 2 years ago, and I had kind of just walked away because I felt that I can't explain to these media peoples like I've tried with so many media organizations, no matter how many interviews I've had, no matter how many times I've met with media. What I say and what I articulate is never the story, and it's never well understood or explained in any real sense of truth or reality. And shockingly today, folks, shockingly today, Ryan Boswell with the National Observer of all Canadian media companies releases a publication on the actual reality of the Ben & Jerry's ice cream, the actual reality and historical significance of Canada in relation to the United States, and more USA in relation to the colonial powers. In fact, he goes into New York's auction today where they're auctioning off two documents, one of Newfoundland and Nova Scotia, from the historical colonial records, the most significant colonial documents. And folks, Six Nations, and I went out there, as all my long followers know, and to see the National Observer, better late than never, I guess, writing an article about it in Canadian media of all places, in this Crown, historical, accurate, and truthful. In fact, taking Six Nations and those historic colonial treaties versus Canada's number treaties, and to go into it and explain what the 1492 land back and what Six Nations and many First Nation groups who talk about land back clearly get, that no media articulates, is that we are not talking about uprooting Canadians off of their private property. As I've articulated to many chiefs, including meeting with Six Nations in a long time period of my time in Ontario, as well as other groups all over, yes, Caledonia. I still have Cascadia to do in BC. I don't know how much success I'm going to see in that. There's blockers for me to do that. But folks, the concept is not about throwing us, the third class, the settlers, off their historical properties, as it's about the 90%, again, of federal and provincial crown lands that are held by whomever we've elected or appointed. Folks, that is a divine lead of Canadian politicians and Indian Act politicians as well, too. They get it, they have it. The minor few and all of their foreign friends, while you, the defined subjects and the defined in all of our laws, which are not matched in the United States of America. Did the British Empire, the Spanish Empire, the French Empire, the Portuguese Empire, the Dutch Empire in the United States of America perpetrate all that too? I moved. Sorry, folks. It's rough. It's rough in northern Canada. I know it's rough all over Canada. I shouldn't even say that. I was getting hit in Cambridge and throughout the GTA constantly. You got to move. It's pathetic, sick. I don't want to lose this video, so I gotta move. Pretty pathetic, you know. Americans have no idea what Canada's all about. It's sick, pathetic, and wrong. Basically, as rudely interrupted as usual, is what we're getting at here is that ultimately it's about taking the definition of savage and subject in Canada and making it really citizen. And how do we do that? It means destroying the crown. What does that mean? It means making actual settlements with the 90% of the crown land not available to any Canadian or any first person. It is so much land and so much unavailability for the massive inflated costs for Canadians and First Peoples. And I've been doing this work for 5 years straight, more than anybody else, I think, as a Canadian in the world. And I've been in every major academic institution to clearly prove that. And I'm waking people up, and I grow stronger every day. Yesterday I have 2 more academics, one from Germany, one from US. But I continue to educate this. I continue to grow the world narrative. So to have, oh yeah, I'm gonna get a ticket here too if I'm not careful. I just made this video, but the whole point here, folks, is the First Peoples who wish for land back, the 3 S's, settlement of the claims, self-determination, and full self-government, is all about removing the crown, dividing the lands 50-50 with First Peoples and Canadians. That is how it's done. And even more so, taking the American Indian that both Democrats and Republicans would go with under the Jay Treaty and restoring them too in Canada's lands. A lot of people don't want to look at this. It's amazing, and I give kudos out to the National Observer for taking that step. I'm not a brilliant writer. I'm a math guy. I'm an economist. My skills aren't in writing. So it's been a fierce battle. I've always needed real writers, real academics in that field to write these truths. And unbelievably, it's the National Observer, in the copy, in this link, in this title of this video I make. They did that. They did that last night here and into this 24-hour publication. I don't know how many people it will reach, but that is deadly accurate, well written, and beautifully articulated. I've tried with literally dozens and dozens of media outlets across Canada, including the National Observer, as I did a Facebook, a live with them, a Zoom meeting, and they didn't take me for what it was then, but for some reason they do now. Randy Boswell does now. Better late than never. I'm glad it's out there. I'm glad we're seeing this. I hope Ben & Jerry's understands the difference between Canada and America and the colonial powers of America, all 5 of them, folks. This is a massive, major breakthrough video, breaking revelations, hopefully of more to come. Are we breaking down the Crown media at least? Maybe. Randy Bosworth does, for whatever, or Boswell does, whatever, for the first time in Canadian history. Everything I presented to him and all the media many, many times, and you know, I hope it continues. I hope it grows. I hope many people share this. There's a tremendous wealth and power available to all Canadians and all First Peoples if together we can go forward. In fact, I have the political party designed to see that done, a power unto the people. Just within a few days, I'm going to be in Kansas City presenting accountability, the power of the people, at least for American people, what they can do in a real grand jury, not all the BS that's sold in Canada as compulsive liars, but a real one. And we're going to see if that goes. I hope it does. I hope my brothers and sisters on the American front can see that done. At least see the presentation. I'll do that live at the court proceedings that are underway here. That's my goal and that's what I'm doing. But I hope that Canadians and First Peoples take this publication by the National Observer. Take what you can get. This is one of those. This should be widely shared, widely broadcasted. I'm boots on the ground there. I met all the parties involved of the time. I was even there for the statue toppling of John A. Macdonald. More than just that they're unceded lands. More than just that it's historically wrong. More than just you can't put that shit on P5 lands, designated World War II historical sites. You can't. And the government tried to do that. And of course, there's no charges in relation to that. A lot of people tried to have me put down. But it's truths people need to know. It's a power to the people. I'm not a communist. I'm not a radical. I'm an absolute historical truth and legal reality presenter of what our country is, what it does, and what's wrong with it. I show what criminal politicians are involved from all political parties. And God bless Randy Boswell, the National Observer, for at least this post. It's historical, it's deadly accurate, it's beautifully articulated because someone who's a real writer wrote it. And I love it. I couldn't ask for anything better. It's a huge, beautiful day, beautiful weather, and a beautiful publication. I don't need glory, but to see my works continue forward and these historical truths come to pass. Folks, share any of my followers. Share it, look at it, read it. It's amazing, and it's in Canada of all places. And I hope Ben and Jerry's grows with this. I hope people understand what I've been doing for the last 5 years, what I'm sharing, what I'm educating across Canada, what I have been educating, and people start to wake up, because we're the victims, all of us. Yes, no worse victim than all the First Peoples, but in a very close second place, every third and second class Canadian. Obviously third class feels it the worst. Obviously we're all feeling it bad today, but it's up to all of you to share it. God bless. Thanks. That's my video. Read the article, share it out. Credit is deserved, credit is due, and I give it to Randy Boswell and the National Observer. Well done. Thank you. Amazing. And it's never too late, folks. Don't lose hope. Don't lose heart. It's funny today, it's two big things, or big at least to me, not to everybody else. But someone who sees the big picture, there's been a lot of big things happening in just the last 24 hours that really, it's not the end all and be all, but it's a beautiful, beautiful start. And it gives me hope in really dark times when I'm going through unbelievable pressures and abuse that, I hope one day I can share. God bless. Bye now.